Julian Alvarez, it is time for you to burn bridges. It is time for you to stand on your villain arc. It is time for you to act. Right now, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. These guys, the club that you play for, they don't give a damn about your dreams. They don't give a damn about your ambitions. They only care about themselves. And in a position like yours, you have to think about yourself. Because you're an ambitious footballer. You want to be put amongst the best players in this generation. And you have a lot of potential. You've been doing quite a good job at Atletico Madrid. Even though last season I think your season was poor, I don't really point a lot at you. I think that when I see you, I see a player that's got potential to elevate. And I think even you yourself have realized that for you to take the next step in your career, for you to elevate to the next level, you're going to have to make a big step in your career. It's time for you to step up. And Julian Alvarez, I know you know that because at the end of the season, you didn't even waste any time. You didn't even waste any opportunity. You went straight to the club that you currently play for and you let them know about your ambitions. And since then, Julian Alvarez, even though you tried to do it the professional way, you didn't throw your choice out of the pram, you didn't speak to the media immediately, you took your time, you went to the club, you went and spoke to them, and you made it as respectful as it could be. And in the end, it was your club, Atletico Madrid, who betrayed you. Because they decided to make something that was supposed to be respectful behind the scenes into a public spectacle. So much so that even during the World Cup, when you are focusing on your country, when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to retain your World Cup trophy, you are in the media trying to just focus on your football and they're asking you about your club status. So much so that you had to do something that I'm sure you were not happy to do. I'm sure during the World Cup, you were trying to just focus on playing for your country, but even you knew you had to address it. And you tried to be respectful. You tried to address it through respect. You didn't throw any shades. You didn't try to make this all about whoever club it was. You tried to answer this in the most professional way. You let the club know, and you let the world know that yes, you wanted to leave. You confirmed your desire to take the next step in your career. You even made it respectful enough that you didn't even mention Barcelona because you were trying to be respectful. But even then, when you made your statement, Atletico Madrid did not care. They made it more and more and more as a spectacle. They tried to call you out. Your president of the club you play for called you out, called everyone out. Social media trolls, all of these embarrassing childish games. So much so that I know that you are fuming. Because we know that you're fuming. Everyone around you has stated the fact that you are not happy with the situation. And it is time for you to step in. We know that Barcelona made the offer. Atletico Madrid are petty. Atletico Madrid, in the position that they're in, they are stubborn. They don't care. These guys, as long as Julian Alvarez is as respectful as they are, Atletico Madrid don't give a damn. Atletico Madrid couldn't give a damn. So Julian Alvarez, it is your turn. It is time for you to turn into a villain. It is time for you to burn bridges because this is their fault. This is the club's fault. And you need to focus on what you want. What you want. We know right now Barcelona made an offer. We want to negotiate. The problem has never been that Barcelona don't want to negotiate with Atletico Madrid. We want to negotiate. If they don't want the offer or they don't like what we offered, then let them know. Let us know. Let us know that, listen, we want more than this. And we can negotiate on something that can work for both of us and then we can get the deal done. But Atletico Madrid don't want to do that. They don't want to negotiate. They've already made it very clear. The President Gilmarin came out and said, even for 200 million, they're not selling. They've already told you what their plan is, Julian. They've made it very clear. This is not about money. This is not about how much offer we offer. This is about them being stubborn. This is about them thinking about themselves. And listen, there are people who are going to be watching this. They're going to be like, but Omar, clubs have to focus on themselves. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And listen, if this was Barcelona, I would have probably looked at it very differently. I might have been like, okay, well, listen, at the end of the day, you don't want to ever sell your best player to your biggest rivals. Absolutely. But this is not a message to Atletico Madrid. This message is to Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez, for the past 2 seasons, you've had 2 good seasons at that club. And in those 2 years, what has that club achieved? And it's not like they haven't had opportunities. I think that more than anything else, Julian Alvarez, the reason he wants to leave, the reason why he chose to leave is because of how the season ended. It's because of how things ended this past season, right? They had an opportunity to win one of 3 trophies. And it's not like they were not competing. Guys, they were in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They were in the Copa del Rey final, not against Real Madrid or Barcelona, but against Real Sociedad. They were in the title race until eventually we pulled away. You didn't win the league. All right, cool. Champions League. You've never won the Champions League. Okay, unfortunate. But the Copa del Rey, after you knocked out Barcelona, the defending champions, battered us in your stadium, were able to hold on to prevent a comeback in the second leg. And you had a great opportunity of a lifetime against Real Sociedad, and you couldn't even beat Real Sociedad. That is the club that he plays for. Julian Alvarez is a player who looks at the generation that he's in right now. He's looking at all the best players in the world. They're all competing. And not only are they competing, they're winning. At Atletico Madrid, unless Barcelona and Real Madrid choose to take a year off, you're not going to win anything. You do, and I think Julian Alvarez, and I believe that people know that. People try to make this a big 3. There is no big 3 in La Liga, bro. There has never been a big 3. This season coming, the 2 teams that are going to challenge for the league are Barcelona or Real Madrid. One of the 2 are winning. Atletico Madrid are not winning the league. Remember, I said it now. Atletico Madrid will be nowhere near the title race. They're going to compete and they're going to try to make it a 3-horse race. And then in 2027, they've taken their vacation, usual January vacation for the rest of the season. And in the Champions League, what, do you think the last year's semi-finals impress anyone? I guarantee they might not even make quarterfinals this season. I promise you. Copa del Rey, this season the teams are going to be more competitive. Barcelona, we know we take the Copa del Rey seriously. They're not going to win it again. That's the facts. And Julian Alvarez, you know this. This is why at the end of the season you chose to leave. You understood that for your level, you need to go to a club that can guarantee you minimum challenge and most likely winning trophies. And Barcelona, we've proven in the last 2 seasons, winning a domestic treble and retaining our league title. We proved it. We won 2 trophies last season under Hansi Flick, and we're building. Yamal is cooking. Rafinha is here. Flick, under this attacking system that he plays, every single attacker cooks. It is inevitable that you would cook in this team, and you know it. And you need to focus on yourself. It is time for you to step in. When you return, and I think you're returning this week, you don't turn up. You burn every bridge, because at the end of the day, guess what? It is Atletico Madrid's fault that things had to go this way. It is what it is. But let me know what you guys think about what I said in the comment section below. And listen, if you're an Atletico Madrid fan, listen, tough luck. At the end of the day, this is football. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, take care, everyone. Visca Barca.